Hey, Mike, thanks again for hosting the call this week, and I appreciate everybody who's been listening the last couple of weeks. We've gotten a lot of good suggestions from people about what they would like to see covered. And one of the main topics that folks have been asking about has been Internet leads and how to handle them better. Internet lead has been on the rise pretty dramatically for the last 2 or 3 years, and you know, a big part of that obviously is the convenience of shopping from home. Now, when the Internet craze for the car business started, it was about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and people thought, oh, well, you know, this is the next big frontier, and you know, we're going to be selling cars online. That never really came to be true. But what did become true was that people were doing more and more research online. And initially, the thought was our gross profit average is going to go down dramatically because our customers are much more educated, and they're going to have all this newfound information and wisdom to come in and use against us. So if you're going to give a price, you better give the lowest price possible. Well, that really turned out not to be the main reason that people went to buy. They still bought because of location, number one. People want to buy closer to their home. And two is the way that they were handled throughout the process and the communication that was given to them. A lot of dealers have a format by which they send out some price over invoice or the invoice amount with a profit margin that they spell out clearly, but that's all they do. And that's not what causes people to buy. When you get an Internet lead, they used to say, the initial teaching was, you know, hit them with your cheapest price to try and get them in the door. Then it evolved more correctly towards, we want to give a price, give the information required, but we want to turn the Internet lead into a walk-in. And then that evolved again further towards much more traffic building by saying what we want to do is we want to turn the Internet lead into a phone call, and we want to turn the phone call into an appointment. And in recent times, it's become more that because people choose to communicate through email and text messaging far more than they do by phone now, is we want to get that guest, when they send in an Internet lead, we want to engage them in a conversation on email first. But you want to offer people the ability to ask if they want them to, if you want to send information to them via text message. Would you like me to email you the information, call you, or do you have a number that you want me to text message the information to? You'd be surprised how many people will give out their cell phone number to have the information sent to them that way. We want to build that conversation. The best way to do it is with some open-ended questions. When someone sends in a request on a vehicle, answer their request with some information, but also with a question. Are there any other equipment levels that you would like pricing on? Do you have interest in one with the sun and sound package, which is a sunroof and a Bose stereo system? Are there any other colors that you would like to know if we have in stock? Would you like a comparison between low-rate financing and a rebate? If you ask an open-ended question to these folks, they're more likely to answer that, which starts that dialogue. And then when you offer, if you would like to have the information text to you, you'd be amazed again how many people give you their cell phone number. You know, texting has now become a primary way of communication. And it also affords the people working in the dealership the ability to stay in touch with a customer day and night, weekends, as opposed to when I get into work on Monday and look at my email, then it's too late. People want information now, they want accurate information, and they want to be engaged in dialogue. So again, the most important thing you can do in the sales process as it relates to an Internet customer is engage them in dialogue. Answer the question, but ask open-ended questions. If you do that, you'll convert more leads into phone calls and more of those phone calls into appointments. the closing rate has been all over the board based on where the source is. If you're a General Motors dealer and you're using one source through General Motors, your closing ratio with those leads is going to be higher than it is something coming generically through one of the other sources that may, in fact, be getting their leads from Yahoo or Google or MSN. Those generic providers are scooping leads from everywhere. Your own company website will be the highest closing percentage that you have. So anybody that is putting their best foot forward with a consumer has to have an up-to-date website. Make sure that you have 20 to 30 pictures of used cars. Make sure that your timely response is within minutes, not hours. That's become too far. That horse is out of the barn now. We can no longer spend 6 or 8 hours of our time cruising around looking for information. The customer won't put up with it. They want the information and they want it now. So the best way to do this is without forms. Don't send them a formed response. Send them a personalized, customized response to every single inquiry that comes in. And if you find a way to do that regardless of day or night, that would be best. And again, when you get the lead, what are we going to do with it? We're going to turn it into a phone call, or to increase conversation, either text message or email. We're going to turn that dialogue into an appointment when they come in. When you get those internet people onto your lot, you will close about 70% of them, far greater than the average walk-in. They've already done their research, and you've already built up some trust, enough trust to get them onto your lot. So if you just follow that simple process, you'll convert far more leads into sales. I want to thank you all for listening to this, and I will be taking the email suggestions again this week and turn that call into whatever it is that you folks would like to cover for next week. Thank you very much for listening, and Mike, thank you very much for hosting the call as always, buddy. Take care and have a good day.